Heyo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and in this video we are going to be covering limited and the best cards that you can use with the restrictions for this weekend to go ahead and get your ring, just in case you're a little bit behind. And just to show you guys, I will show you, I have my ring already. It's a bit of an interesting one, but either way, if you guys are excited or just find this video informative at all, make sure you guys smash the like button down below, as well as comment if there's any cards or anybody that I didn't talk about that you used and personally had a lot of fun with. Let me know down in the comments to help some other people out that may be struggling with some of the picks that I give them. And make sure you guys, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. It really would mean a lot to me. We're on that road to 10K subscribers. So the limited requirements for this weekend, a little laggy, is right over here. You can see Glitch Reality, Week 3. You may use an 84 overall lineup or lower. No free agents, bronze, or silver cards. And it actually works this time. If you guys remember, we had a previous limited weekend that had this 84 or lower kind of overall requirement, and it did not work. Previously, all you had to do was make sure you had no bronze or silver cards. So, like, for example, I could come in with this limited lineup here, right here, and I could go and just turn all of these to gold, and it would literally work. You could go in with a whole opal, dark matter lineup, whatever you wanted to last time, and just make sure this was all good. That does not work anymore. I'll show you guys because some people are still in disbelief that it doesn't work. I'll go right here and boom, all gold or higher cards right here. But my overall, as you can see, is an 88. We are definitely higher than it. And then if we go into limited, it actually will tell us no this time. Boom. We do not meet the lineup requirements, which is awesome. So I'm going to show you guys the general kind of team construction that I was using for this weekend. I've gone ahead and finished all of the games that I've needed and all that sort of stuff, and even went ahead and got myself a Galaxy Opal Bradley BEAL for free for the 12 games, which is pretty cool. So my lineup for limited this weekend has looked a little bit like this, give or take. I've messed around with it a few times and changed it up a little bit, but the I guess budget cards that I'm using have stayed the same, besides one caveat, which I'll talk about in a second. So what I've been trying to do is run all golds on the bench, because some of these golds can still like do their own thing a little bit, you know, like, yeah, Danny Green can kind of hit the 3 occasionally. The rest of them are kind of like, nah. But I like using like a Felipe Lopez or somebody like that, like a nice Ruby budget card to play at my PG position that can do a little bit of everything, and it still has a nice jumper with jump shot 49, has the recovery slide, and also has clamps along with deep threes, both on gold. So that's why I'm kind of running a Felipe Lopez. Then in kind of like my 2 through 4 spot, I'm running a opal or pink diamond or something high overall like that. This one happens to be KAWHI Leonard, and just having some fun with that. Obviously, everybody knows why we're using opal KAWHI. One of the best perimeter defenders in the game. He's an amazing shooter. The Ray Allen base is money, and the recovery slide is also really great. Thaddeus Young is the card that I cannot talk enough about. Ruby Thaddeus Young is one of my favorite cards to use. He was in the budget video that I dropped a few days ago. If you guys want to check that out, link in the description down below. Absolutely insane. He's just a super fun Dwayne Wade base on a quick card that is a Ruby, and has one Hall of Fame badge, which is Fearless Finisher. Pretty nice for a Ruby. And just has a lot of really good gold badges, including Pick Dodger, Clamps, Intimidator, Interceptor, Posterizer, and Blinders with deep threes. So next gen, he is an absolute demon, and it's really fun to go ahead and use this Thaddeus Young. Steve NOVAK is a Sapphire who has just a really nice jump shot 10, very quick jumper, who really lowers your overall at 6'10". He can do quite a bit of good at that power forward position. I kind of use him as just like a pick and pop, or sit in the corner and wait for the AI to eventually drop, catch and shoot kind of guy, because with the coach boost that I'm using, he will have a 99 3-point shot, which is awesome, and he can still dunk a little bit, still play make pretty well, and he can kind of play some good defense. A little bit slow, but it is what it is. And he has Hall of Fame Blinders as a Sapphire card, which is awesome, and 34 gold. Again, you can see Clamps, Pick Dodger, Interceptor, Intimidator, things like that. Really good. And he also has a deep threes, which, I mean, how could you not love that? Steve NOVAK is an absolute demon. Then for my reposition, I've been rocking with Mo Bamba, the OG budget center, whenever I'm not using another card that I'll talk about in a little bit. But Mo Bamba is still really fun and really cool. So there's one thing that you want to make sure you're considering when you're kind of making your lineup construction. You want to make sure you have a PG that can play some good defense around on the perimeter, play make a little bit, and can still shoot threes with that deep threes, along with, you know, the gold clamps, things like that. You want to have a really good shooting guard through small forward, somebody that's going to play on the perimeter, you know, around a diamond to an opal, something like that, who is just that do-it-all, go-to scorer, and hopefully also an absolutely amazing defender. When it comes to your like other guys in there, just make sure there's some nice 3-and-D cones. That's what's been working for me. That can just do a little bit of everything. Like I said, Thaddeus Young and Steve NOVAK have been 2 cards that I use every single time, no matter what it is. It's really fun. And then for the center position, you want somebody who has the lateral quickness and gold clamps at least to guard a lot of the cheesy centers. I've ran up against D-Rob many times, Wilt even a few times, and Kareem once in limited. So make sure you got a center that can do that. Mo Bamba, I've been able to make it work, but there's one center that I've been using a lot that I think is a much better option, and I'll cover that now because he's super cheap, I guess, in terms of the cards that came out. And it is this Pink Diamond Magic Johnson. And by super cheap, I mean he's like 30K. I picked mine up for about 18K yesterday and then flipped him a little bit. He's actually gone below 30K now, like 25. That's actually a really good price. But Magic Johnson is a guy that I've been really liking for limited this weekend in the center position, or even power forward if you want to just run 2 big men, is because he's 6'9", has the Curry slide, and still plays like his PG Opal, but can kind of give you those mismatches at the center position that'll allow you to really take over some of the games. I went against a Dark Matter Wilt in the gameplay that we did on Pink Diamond Magic, link in the description down below, and was actually able to really use and abuse that matchup because Wilt was just tall and slower than Magic, and it was actually really fun. And Magic can still shoot from deep. He has golden range. We're looking at Caleb Swan again. He has some great playmaking, really good defense, a little bit low on the interior for a center, but he's also lightning quick, and it has a massive amount of Hall of Fame badges that really can just do it all. And most people in Limited are not ready for you to basically run your offense, playmaking, and all that sort of stuff with your center, and that can actually cause some pretty nice lineups. So I think for general, what I was trying to do is I'll use, for an example, LaMelo Ball in at my center, and then I would take out like KAWHI Leonard. I would try to find a Ruby shooting guard like Kevin Porter Jr., and then boom, my overall is lower, and then I try to sneak in like a diamond. I was able to find a few ways to make it work with that TYRESE HALIBURTON in there. I had somebody else in at my shooting guard. I think it might have been Bruce Bowen, was able to run 2 pink diamonds. If you play it well, you can sneak in some cards and have some fun in there in general. But again, shout out to another diamond that's really good. Diamond TYRESE HALIBURTON. Really good overall card. That's really fun and just nice to use in general because he has a really nice jumper with the Aaron Gordon on very quick, which I absolutely love. And he's got amazing dunking, really good playmaking, and his defense all around is just beautiful. So if you're a little bit stuck, you haven't found that one guy who's going to play really good defense on those guards, HALIBURTON is your man. So overall, it's pretty cool. So these are kind of like the general lineups that I'm going to be running, but I know I haven't talked about other good centers besides Magic and Mo Bamba. And it's kind of because I don't really have another one that I like. There's not too many centers that I would recommend going out and having a time with. Jared Sullinger maybe can be a little bit cool, but for the most part, I would just recommend if you don't want to use your Opal or Pink Diamond or Diamond as your center position, just run Mo Bamba. It's kind of just how it works every single time, or Magic Johnson. And then make sure you have somebody like Steve NOVAK who's going to come in there, beat that like all-around budget. Thaddeus Young as well. I do have some other rubies that I do like to run along with this, like a Jonathan Isaac, because when I run him with the Mo Bamba, they actually get a boost, and the duo is really nice. I think there's some other Sapphire cards that I've been running here and there to have some fun with. Matt Barnes is one of them because he's a nice little 3-and-D guy, 89 3-point shot, has an 85 perimeter, and gold clamps, which is awesome. Not better than Steve NOVAK, but it's still good if you wanted to run a small forward that can still give you a little bit of play. There are some other guys that I've seen people run, like Daquan Cook, who's a really low overall emerald, who I've been using to kind of lower the overall so I can have, for example, Magic and TYRESE on the same court together, because now we have some really nice, really low overalls. And boom, this is a lineup that I would really recommend. Magic, NOVAK, Thaddeus Young, Daquan Cook, Tyrese Halliburton. You'll win every single game. It's really cool. But Daquan Cook has jump shot 4 on quick and a 95 3-point shot with a little bit of defense on the 80 perimeter there, and has a deep threes and clamps, which is awesome for an emerald. He was a reward card last season, so maybe not the most achievable for some people, but again, anytime you can find a really good budget card that can come in and lower your overall, that's what you want to use. We talked about Felipe, we talked about KPJ, because Kevin Porter Jr. is basically just another version of J.R. Smith. George Gervin, another really good card that does a lot of things really well all around. You know, good shooter, good driver to the basket, good defensive guy who can lower your overall at the Ruby position, and just things like that. So general lineup construction, just look for some guys who can do a little bit of everything and have some fun. Again, we already went over the requirements that I'd look for, but for the most part, this shouldn't be too bad of a limited. I think they've been listening to us at least a little bit on how we haven't really liked what's been going on. So this is pretty cool. And let me know what you guys think about the overall lineup restrictions and things like that for it. Glad that it finally is working out. But, you know, I would like to see it as maybe like an 86 or something like that. Although I understand that's not as limited. So who knows? Either way, that has been what I've been able to do and get to it. And again, if you go ahead and finish out 12 limited games this weekend, just play them, you will get a free Galaxy Opal Bradley BEAL, which is really cool, really fun that they're doing it. And there's 1,000 XP unlocked when you do that. So make sure you at least get 12 games in this weekend if you're not just going for the XP challenges. Again, if there's any other cards that you guys have been using, I just tried to highlight ones that are lower and overall that you guys can try to mix in there to make it work. Like these are my 3 keys, which is lower overall. But if you had other budget cards that you guys were going ahead and use, let me know down in the comment section below, as well as subscribe if you guys are new, like the video, all that wonderful stuff. I'll see y'all in the next one.